Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Sam, and today I want to talk about trading. Before I had talked about investing, which was anything for the long term, and today specifically I want to talk about trading, which would be anything focused on short-term gains. Now that's going to cover swing trading, day trading, forex, maybe even some Bitcoin trading unless you're buying it and holding it, options, pretty much anything that you're looking to buy and sell to make a profit in the short term. Short term I'm going to call maybe under a year, 6 months, a week, a day, anything in that range. Though specifically I'm probably going to be referencing options and swing trading because that's what I mostly do. And I obviously don't know much. I'm still learning myself. So after you watch this video, if you want to go ask your mom, a financial advisor, your grandpa, anyone else about what they think you should do, that might be a really good idea. And with that, let's just get started. A lot of this stuff you've probably heard before, and it's been repeated a lot just because it's really good advice. And that first bit of information that goes around all the time is when you start trading, start paper trading. Now what this simply means is you're not trading real money, you're trading paper, fake money. And I found the easiest way for me to do this was on TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim. For me, I don't really like the paper trading just because it's not real, and I really prefer to use real money because it just feels better to me. Though I still recommend trying paper trading because it does work for a lot of people. And when you are ready to use real money, use small amounts that you are very comfortable with losing. There's no reason to start trading with a $10,000 account and then get very upset when you lose half of it. Start with $100, see what you can do, and slowly increase that. When you don't lose money for a few months in a row, maybe even half a year, then you can start using more money. But one of the biggest mistakes is adding all that money at once. Because you might get 6 months in a row, but if that next month is the losing month and you go from 1,000 to 10,000, you could easily lose most of that 10,000. So the smarter thing would be add 1,000 every month until you add your full amount. If you had $1,000 to invest, you might want to start with $50, see what you can do. And if you do good with the $50, maybe add $50 more a month and just take it slowly. Because if you had added the rest of that $1,000 the next month and you took your loss on that month, it would hit you a lot harder than if you had invested slowly. Another thing that has really helped me out is keeping a trading journal. Well, I keep one, I just don't know where I'm keeping it right now. Okay, well, I can't find it. But the nice thing about keeping my trading journal is I can see what trades I lose, what trades I win, and what trades I might break even. This allows me to try different strategies without trying to remember how they performed. I actually know. I have a couple templates for trading logs on Excel, but I don't really use those because I like to physically write them down so I can go back and look. It just works better for me that way. Like I said, I use TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim if I ever want to do any paper trading. I also use it to chart all my spreads if I want to see them before I make the trade on Robinhood. Robinhood is actually what I use for about 95% or more of my trades. I don't know why I like Robinhood so much, but it's probably because it's always ready to go and it's super easy to use. Well, I mean, there was a problem a few months ago, but it's usually always ready to go. And here comes my shameless plug. If you download Robinhood using the link below, we'll both get a free stock. And I gotta say thank you to everyone who's already used my link. Every time I see that pop up in my feed, I get really excited because I see that I've actually inspired someone to start investing. There's a couple things I had to learn, and it took me a lot of time, but those are patience. Waiting for the plays to show up instead of trying to force plays and just jump on trades hoping that they'll work. It really does pay off to only take the trades when they present themselves. The opportunities will be there, and if you have to go a week without making a trade, that's not the end of the world. That's just you playing smart. Another thing is cutting my losses. There were a whole bunch of early trades where I didn't cut my losses and I should have. There's still been a couple times where I haven't cut my losses when I should have, but for the most part, my trades are already laid out for me. And this is my next point. One of the biggest mistakes I made early on was buying things without having a path of when to get out of it. That is almost like gambling. Because when it starts going up, you say, oh, well, I'll wait a little more. I'll wait a little bit more. I'm going to hit the peak. But you don't really know when that peak is going to hit. If you have clear entry and exit points before you make the trade, it will help get some of the emotion out of these trades. For example, you say, I'm going to buy this under $10. I'm going to sell it when it reaches $10.50, or I'm going to put my stop loss at 980. Because if you don't have that stop loss, it might hit 990 and you're like, okay, I'll wait a little longer. It hits 980. You're like, it might go back up 970, and you just write it down without actually having a plan of when to get out of it. And the same goes the other way. If it starts hitting 950, you're probably going to want to stay in there to squeeze out a little bit more profit. These are pretty basic tips, but they're definitely the ones that have helped me out the most. The biggest thing you can do is just limit the amount that you're actually using, at least in the beginning. If you say you're only going to use $50 or $100 a month, stick to that, and if you lose it all, don't just keep adding money. I had started with about $600, and I waited a few months before I added more because the $600 was because I was mostly just trading stocks at that time, and I was pretty sure I wouldn't lose more than half that value, and I was okay with the $300 loss. Luckily, I didn't really lose anything, and I definitely learned a lot, and that's when I started adding more money. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you think I might have missed something important, leave it down in the comments, and maybe that will help someone else. If you leave a like, that helps me out a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you are curious about Robinhood, check out that link. Anyway, I gotta see what Bitcoin's doing. Man, Bitcoin is going crazy. Ooh, Bitcoin, why do you do this to me? Well, there goes most of my gains. Oh, don't worry, it will go back up. I'll just wait, it will go back up.